My name is Ernie Clifton. I have been trained as a nurse practitioner in the United States. I have walked away from my profession. I no longer wish to practice within a business model designed to make those at the top rich while preying upon innocent and vulnerable patients. I have cut out the distractions and roadblocks so that I can bring you the truth. Today I would like to discuss the truth about dairy foods. Got milk? That was the campaign ran by the USDA when I was a child. Milk, it does a body good. These ads ran on national television frequently and were politically backed. Dairy foods were said to be an ideal source of dietary calcium and were included on the food pyramid. When I was a kid, it was recommended that we have several servings of dairy each day. Why are human beings the only mammals continuing to drink milk beyond graduating from the teat? Why are we drinking the milk of another species? Specifically, what do we think will happen when we consume a substance that aids a large mammal in gaining 1,000 pounds in the first year of life? Cow's milk is fatty and calorically dense, no doubt. It is intended to be ingested by cows. Cows need to gain weight fast within the first year of life in order to survive. It's basic biology. Beyond the obvious caloric density of milk, which clearly has the potential to make us fat, it is inflammatory. Studies have shown that up to 60% of the population is lactose intolerant to some extent. Human beings don't do well with additional inflammation from any source. In fact, inflammation is known to increase the likelihood of developing autoimmune disease, chronic pain, fatigue, and overall feelings of unwellness, and even depression. Yet dairy is still recommended by doctors and politicians alike. How could this be? To answer that question, all we need to do is follow the money trail, like anything else. I know what you're thinking. Yes, but dairy is loaded with calcium. That statement is true. Dairy foods are loaded with calcium, yet they are loaded with calcium that is poorly utilized by the human body. Calcium obtained by eating dairy foods is simply exchanged in the kidney and urinated out of the body. This can lead to increased likelihood of kidney stones and actually contributes to osteoporosis. Don't believe me? Look at the data. The amount of calcium we take in is less important than how much we actually utilize. 1 cup of milk contains approximately 300 milligrams of calcium, but only about 1/3 of it, 90 milligrams or so, is actually bioavailable. The USA consumes more dairy than any other country, yet has the highest incidence of osteoporosis. Drug companies capitalize on this. You would be amazed at how many prescriptions for Fosamax or Prolia I filled at my office as a nurse practitioner. It was staggering. So dairy makes us fat, increases inflammation, and thins our bones? Could it be any worse? Actually, dairy is physically addictive as well. Milk contains casomorphins, queso being Spanish for cheese, and morphin, meaning belonging to the morphine group. These compounds attach to mu receptors in the central nervous system, just like morphine. They don't make you feel high, but they do contribute to a dopamine response, and when the receptor is unbound, we are left feeling a bit empty and want to reach again for that cheese or whatever dairy it was we consumed. This sounds made up, but it makes sense biologically. Cows need to gain a lot of weight, so they have to come back to the teat time and time again. Mother Nature has ensured that this will happen by adding addictive properties to milk. Let us for a change look past the human condition and think about the countless dairy cattle that suffer daily also. Cows are separated from their calves, filled with hormones and antibiotics, and then milked dry. Once they are underproducing milk, they are slaughtered and sold for food. They are mammals like us, and they yearn for an emotional bond. Cows actually cry and mourn the loss of their young. They miss their children just as you or I would. They are not simply a product on a factory line. We are interfering with nature and the life cycle. In the Bible, God does allow us to eat dairy and meat, and we do have dominion over animals. However, That does not mean they should be staples in the standard American diet. They should be treated as a delicacy. Eating animal products is an intimate and precious experience, not the foundation of a healthy diet. Meat and dairy should be treated with dignity and respect. Any suffering or pain an animal endures, man will so ingest. Don't believe me? It's true. Neuroendocrinology pushes us into one quantum vibration versus another through a series of neurotransmitter exchanges and electrical signals. As we expand our consciousness and become more healthy overall, we vibrate at a higher frequency. We are here to redefine the grind. We want to obtain spiritual enlightenment. I tell clients to treat cheese as you would hot fudge. It is the same idea. It is calorically dense and inflammatory. It is honestly okay once in a while, but when we make it a staple in our diet, we become obese. We want to be the best version of ourselves. We all just want to be happier and healthier. That's where I come in. I don't wish to deceive you, nor do I want to waste your time. I just want you to actually take a stand and take back your health on your terms. Redefine the grind. Reduce the amount of dairy you're eating immediately. Try it. You'll be shocked at just how many products contain dairy if you start looking at labels. It's amazing and it's unnecessary. Dairy is there in order to pad the pockets of those in the dairy industry, not to make you healthy. In fact, many products can be manufactured dairy-free and would not be any less palatable. It's all a mind game. The USDA wants you addicted, and they want your money. Redefine the grind. Take a stand now that you know. Become the most amazing version of yourself today. Do yourself a favor.